Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is Success Mentorship Class number 358. Our topic for today is It's Never Too Late to Make a New Start. Wow. That topic is one that we chose because we're at that point in the year where many of us are making decisions about how to go forward. Before we want to get into that, I want to invite all of you to visit our website, herbertharris.com, and there you'll see copies of our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. You'll see information about the New You for the New Year home study course to help put you on track to be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire. So that's herbertharris.com. Before we get into our message today, let us get centered. So let's just sit up in our seats, close our outer eyes, open our inner eyes, take a deep breath and hold it. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath and hold it. Let it out slowly. And in this state of peace and relaxation, I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm that together. I am at peace with myself. And just let that peace sink in. And as we are in this peaceful, open state, our minds are open, receptive, and ready to learn. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us say that one more time together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And so it is. I love to open with a quote, and this is a quote from one of my favorite writers and personalities and speaker, Maya Angelou. And she said something very simple yet very profound. She said, as long as you're breathing, it's never too late to do some good. As long as you're breathing, it's never too late to do some good. There's so many quotes about starting over. And one of the things that we get from the number of quotes is that you get that sense that it happens all the time, that starting over is a part of our growth process. This idea of starting over, though, has many, we'll say, many cuts to it. So as we stand at basically the first Saturday of the month, many of us have mixed emotions about it. There's some of us that this has been a great year. We achieved our goals. We can really sit back just for a moment and be thankful that the things that we wanted to be, do, and have been accomplished. And even in that state of mind, even in that situation, it's so important to say, well, if everything went well, then one thing you should definitely do is be thankful. Be thankful and think about how it can get better. The moment we accept our present level of performance in any way, we invite mediocrity and we undermine our growth. Then there's other folks that look at this and say, Others are disappointed in their performance and the level of achievement. And our message today is, I think, really addressed a lot to that group. You know, if we think about the 80-20 rule, and I'm just going to apply it loosely, 80% of the people are probably in that group of saying, you know, the year ended, I didn't accomplish my goals, I have a lot more to do, I'm very disappointed in my performance. What can I do? The third group, we're going to leave them alone. The third group are the folks who are indifferent. They're just here, and their attitude is, it is what it is. So for that group, we pray for them and we move on. So let's look at the group of us that are disappointed, that want this new year to be different, want this new year to be better, want this new year to be transformed, to accomplish the things that we have, really been working hard at doing. Many of us have been trying and trying and working at projects, and it still hasn't worked for us. We still have not gotten the results that we want. We've even made plans. We've gone to seminars. We've gone to courses. But at the end of the year, when we did that checkup from the neck up and from the heart down at the end of the year, we were not excited about our performance. And then let's even compound it. Once you're at the end of the year and you're at that point where you're like, man, things didn't work, doubt begins to creep in. You wonder if you're doing the right thing at all. That's when you start making excuses. The year didn't happen, but we'll blame the company, we'll blame this, in other words, everything is just not the way it is, and it's somebody else's fault. And then, probably the worst thing of all is when you wonder if it's too late to change. That negative mindset is so amazing. I'm a network marketer and have been a network marketer for, I guess, 40 years. And one of those people that, you know, over the years, someone once said, well, what's your track record? And I said that I've been involved in 19 companies, and 15 of them I made friends and lost money. So that means that 15 times I did not accomplish what I wanted to do. And so when you get to that point, sometimes you'll wonder if the goals are meant for you. Maybe you're not supposed to have a six-figure income. Maybe you're not supposed to make $100,000 a month. Maybe you're not supposed to be happy. Maybe you're not supposed to meet that person that's supposed to change your life and complete you in every regard. And so when we stand at this crossroads, we say, is it too late to make a new start? Well, my message to you is this, that you have the power to make a new start any time you decide. That is one power that each of us has, the power to start over, the power to give our life a new direction any time we choose. Scripture says, choose this day whom you will serve. And so you can choose to stay stuck, make excuses, accept the state of completion that you're at right now, or you can choose to change. And with this message that you can change, the thought is it's never too late to make a new start. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. There was a great story and it said, it ain't over till the quote was, it ain't over until you get what you want. And so when we look at where we are right now, if we don't have what we want, if we didn't accomplish the goals we set out to accomplish, if we're disappointed in our performance, if we don't like where we are at this moment, It ain't over. They say, in other words, it's not over until you win. It's not over until you accomplish the things you want to be, do, and have. You can quit. You can throw in the towel. But our message today is you have the power to start over any time you desire. So let's look at 6 keys to help you restart your life in any way you want. Number one, to realize that time is on your side. You know, we get into that thing of, oh my God, the time is slipping away from us. I'm 50, I'm 60, I'm 70, I'm 80, and I haven't accomplished what I set out to do. But when you look at the flip side of that, the fact is, if you're here, if you're alive, then you still have time. In other words, as long as you're breathing, there's a lot left to do. There are moments to grow. There are things to experience. There are victories to be had. There are relationships to make. But it's up to you. Then once you realize that time is on your side, and guess what now? The flip side of that is that time is God's gift to you. What you do with that time is your gift to God. And so at this moment, this day, this first Saturday of the month, if you need to make a change in your life, if you need to make a new start, to know that time is on your side because you're still alive. And so the fact that you're here means that there should be no regrets, no doubts, that you are here for a purpose. You know, God has the creator, by whatever name, has infinite wisdom. And so the fact that you're alive at this moment means that you have more work to do. You can make a new start. The second key is to have a growth mindset. You know, one of the things about retiring, when I hang around some of my contemporaries, some of my classmates, I have to really guard my ears and guard what I see, because so many of them get so involved in talking about their illnesses, their ailments, and the things that didn't happen in life, and blaming others and all of those kind of negative things. And the thing about negativity, if you stay in the negativity environment, it's going to get you. So have a growth mindset. The fact that you're alive now says you have the ability to transform your life. You have the ability to change. You have the capacity to learn, to grow, to transform. The second law of success says this: be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. So you have the power now to create a mindset for change, a mindset for growth, a mindset that can lead you to exactly what you want to be, do, and have this year. Now, there's certain basics that when we talk about a growth mindset, there's certain basics that you have to master. The 4 basics: you have to be self-responsible. That if this is going to be your year to start over, then you're the one that's got to do it. Nobody else can dream your dream. They can help you, but you've got to have the dream. And so this idea of a growth mindset is now to take charge of your life. I am responsible. You've got to be self-motivated. Your dream, your goals, the things that you want to be doing, have that new self, that new you that you want to see in this new year. You got to be so excited about it that you literally radiate energy. You got to be self-determined. Change is automatic. Whether you make a decision or not, there will be change. But change that is the change that you want to create requires your choice and your commitment. So you have got to be self-determined, have such a deep desire to make this new start, to create this new ending in your life, this next level, that nothing can stop you. And you've also got to be self-functional. See, everything comes from your mindset, and all this is involved. That when you say, I'm ready to make a new start, this idea of having that growth concept, that self responsibility, self motivation, self determined, you got to be self functional. And we've been over it. Every success book gives you the functions, gives you the rules. You have to write your goals in great detail, and you have to believe them. You have to read them over 5 times a day. You have to have a written plan. You have to have daily activities. You have to devote yourself to productive endeavors. Some people, we say income producing endeavors, results producing endeavors. And so this idea of having that growth mindset is critical, because that's the foundation on which you will build this new start, this new ending that you want to create. The third key to let you know you can make a new start is to let the past be a catalyst for change. That's one we may have to work on, because sometimes the past can be a prison. Sometimes we can get so locked on past failures, past disappointments, the things that did not happen, the things that we did not accomplish, that we can't even see the mountain ahead, the mountain of success and accomplishment. We can let the past be a burden, or let the past be a resource. When you look at the past as a burden, then consider it a prison and you need to break out. But when you look at the past as a resource, you can look at all the good you've done, all the things that you've accomplished. I mean, it's amazing. Some of the things that you've accomplished, you have a tendency to focus on what you didn't do rather than what you accomplished. So when you use the past as a resource, you can look back on the victories that you had and say, I accomplished that. I often talk about walking on the coals with Tony Robbins, and the one thought that I got from this was the fact that anything that I feared, I could overcome it by having a certain mindset. Even the failures, even the disappointments give you great lessons. So look at the past now, not as a prison, reliving past hurts, but now as a resource. So I know what to do. I've made every possible mistake, so I definitely know what not to do. I've learned some valuable lessons, and I am committed now to use the lessons of the past to create the vision of the future. Not the pain of the past, which only undermines the potential for the future. So your life story is not a limitation. Your life story is a catalyst for change. So everything that's happened in the past now makes you say, I got to change. I got to make a new start. When we come out of that past situation, we have two types of changes. We have changes from, and we have changes to. This may be a point in our lives where our whole objective is that the people we've been around, the environment we've been around, the profession in which we find ourselves is not bringing us the joy that we desire. We may be in a bad relationship. We may be in a dead-end job. But we now can make that choice to take that journey from. You say, I may not be clear on where I want to go, but I am absolutely clear on where I don't want to be. And so that journey from is powerful. Use the pain and the disappointments of the past to say, I've got to get out of here and take that journey from here. The past can also be reflected in journeys too. Sometimes we look at what we've done and what we've accomplished over the last year, and we say, you know what, I can do better. I can make my calls. I can make my connections. I can study what I need to know to get better. The fourth key is to choose faith over fear. And this is critical because when you stand now at this first Saturday of the year and you're looking forward and you look at everything, you assess where you are. And, when people look at their age, their state of mind, their condition, it's kind of scary. Okay. It's really a little scary. You think about it. You're going into the unknown. We've been doing what we've been doing for so long now that we are at that point where we got to make a change. It's a little scary. But the thing that will keep you moving is faith. And so you may not see any evidence of what you want to be, do, and have, but you must have faith that you can do it. You must have faith in the source, in God, in the source, whatever that your description of the universal consciousness, faith that you're a part of a bigger picture. Faith that you're a spiritual being having a human experience. You must have faith in yourself, faith in your own abilities. Forget the fact that you had not accomplished the things you want to do in the past. Faith says, go for the future, go for the victory. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And it is your faith that will really take you past the pits and the valleys and the holes and the potholes, all those things that are there on your success journey that can undermine your success. Number 5, don't do it by yourself. Get support. Get community around you. Anytime you strike out now on a new path, on new beginnings, on a new direction, it's a little scary. And the beauty of other people is that they can be there as a resource, they can be there as a champion, they can be there to encourage you. But let me just warn you for a moment, especially when you have journeys from, when you look at where you are right now and you've made your decision that I'm going to do something completely different. The way I've been doing over this last year is not working for me. When you have a journey from, maybe the relationship you're in is, you finally make up your mind that, this is not working. And I look down the road and I don't see it's going to work. Maybe it's the job. Clearly, you're never going to be the CEO, and you're one cut away from being unemployed. The way corporations treat you now, you can work there 29 years, 11 months, and where you need 30 years to retire, and they'll fire you on the 29th year, 11th month to cut you out of your pension. And so when we look at this idea of these journeys from, you have to be careful with who you share your dreams with. You see, when you're heading towards a new beginning to create a new ending, when you are going on a journey to, you look for people who are already there. You look for people who've been through the transformation and survived. If I want to take flying lessons, I want to take flying lessons from a pilot who's flown high, crashed, survived, and learned. So on that journey too, you want to really look for people who can guide you, who can support you, who can encourage you. You want to look for a community that really puts its arms around you to help lift you up and help take you to that next level. That's one of the beauties I love about the great discovery, that it's such a powerful community of people who care about your success and who encourage you to go for it. This idea of support and commitment is powerful because when you have that support that lifts you up, That mastermind principle goes to work. Two or more gathered on one accord, I am among you. And so you take your whole ability to manifest, ability to achieve to another level because you're working with another human being, another group of human beings who have a common vision, a common dream, and who believe in you. They often say, don't pour old wine into new jars. And so when you look at this step is so critical. Who you associate with, who you commune with. This is so critical to helping you make that new start and create that new vision and that new reality for yourself. And then finally, step 6, one step at a time. One step at a time. You see, when we look at where we are, when we do that checkup from the neck up, and we're not happy with where we are at this moment, this first Saturday of the year, it doesn't mean that we have to turn our life upside down overnight. And that sometimes is one of the big mistakes. That sometimes is one of the big mistakes. We see the vision and it's like we throw out the baby with the bathwater. We turn our lives upside down. And so often when you do that, it changes so many things that you can't cover all the bases. And so this idea of making a new start says let's just take some baby steps. The Chinese proverb says that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. In many of the Alcoholics Anonymous and some of those programs to help people get over addiction, they say one day at a time. There's power to that. Because when you approach that thing for one day at a time, you can look at it and say, this new start that I want to make for my life, there's always something you can do right now. One of the most powerful aspects of this change is the power of now. And so that one step may be just to go buy a book. It may be to sit down and write the vision of what you want to be doing have. But to take this one step at a time approach. Then when we look at these 6 things, we look at where we are. And when we determine that we need to make a new start, if it's been a great year, that new start is to do better. That if you could generate X amount of dollars, if you could create a Y amount of impact, then be committed to grow even more, to get better and more results. If the year is not the way you wanted it to be committed to make the changes necessary to create the vision that you do want it to be. It can be scary. It can be lonely. But, excuse me. But when you look at it from the point of view that every day now is an opportunity to choose differently. Every day now is a chance to learn from the past and build. Every day is an opportunity to create a new you. So let's summarize. We stand at the precipice. We stand at the crossroads. Robert Frost said, when you stand at the crossroads of life, he said, I choose the path less taken. And so at this moment, this first Saturday of the new year, choose the path less taken. There are many stories about how people who have goals, it's called, the Yale study, the Harvard study. But one of the things we do learn about is that people who have goals and work on those goals consistently over time are successful, are happy, and create the life that they desire. So at this moment in time, you have the ability to make a new start. No matter how old you are, no matter your condition. When we look at remember the prodigal son, that when you're in the pig pens at the lowest point in your life, that when you identify and recognize who you are, that you are a created being of an all-powerful, all-knowing God, supreme power, that you were created for good and created to do good things, that your condition does not determine your potential. And so when we look at this idea and understand it's never too late to make a new start because time is on your side. The fact that you're alive means you have the capacity to change. Pay attention to your health. Pay attention to the things that can uplift you. Have a growth mindset. Know that your state of mind determines the life that you live. Taking responsibility for this change, being self motivated to make this change, be determined that only success, to be self functional, to learn the skill set necessary to create this new vision, to let the past be a catalyst for change, looking at the things you've learned from the past, looking at the victories you can build on, looking at that wealth of potential that you have because of where you've been. Choose faith over fear. Anytime you do something different and step into the unknown, something you haven't been doing all along, it can be fearful. But use faith over fear. To have total faith that you have everything you need to get anything you want, that you were created complete, that anything that's not been working is learned, and it can be unlearned, and you can learn new skills and bring about new results. Get support, create community, but be careful where you get that support. Always look to people who are doing better, who have more experience, people you can learn from, people who honor you, people who are excited to see you. Create a community where you can put the mastermind principle to work so that everybody in that community can rise based on each other's individual efforts. And then finally, just take it one day at a time. All you have to do to change your life is every day make that day exactly the way you want it to be. That every day and every way get better and better. That when you can do that, then nothing is impossible. Then you can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. Take a deep breath for a moment. Let it out. And so it is. Now, thank you so much for being with us today. Those on Instagram, share this message with at least 3 other people. You have the power to make a new start anytime you decide to. Those of you on YouTube, thank you so much for being with us. You have the power too to share this message with others, to let it come into your spirit and operate by it. Those of you on our Zoom, our mastermind groups, hold tight a moment because I'm just loving to hear your feedback, your thoughts, your comments, and your examples of growth. And so it is.